This week on Storyboard, we have Puneet Das, President Packaged Beverages India and South Asia, Tata Consumer Products, speak about how do they shape Jaago Re narrative year on year, why is it so important for Tata Tea to run this campaign for so long, Tata Tea's localization strategy and much more. And we have Ashish Mishra, CEO Interbrand India and South Asia, and Gonzalo Brujo, Global CEO Interbrand, speaking about the big trends from Interbrand's Best Indian Brand Report. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shubhani Gharat. Tata Tea Premium's Jaago Re campaigns have been instrumental in stirring change on ground with impactful solutions for the larger society and their collective issues since 2007. And this edition of Jaago Re intends to do the same. It is an awakening call to the parents by their kids for the climate change repercussions they will face in coming years. To tell us more about this, how do they shape their Jaago Re narrative year on year? Why is it so important for Tata Tea to run this campaign for so long? Tata Tea's localization strategy and much more. We are joined in by Puneet Das, President, Packaged Beverages, India and South Asia, Tata Consumer Products. Puneet, welcome to CNBC-TV18.
Thank you, Shivani. Great to be here.
Puneet, first up, why did you decide to extend the narrative of climate change in this edition of Jaago Re as well? I believe last year you had also breached a conversation around climate change. So why did you extend it?
So, in Jaago Re, we pick up themes which are sort of, which the society is going through. And we want, obviously, people to talk about it, spread awareness on it, and request people to take action on it. And societal changes take time. And of course, in the past, we've taken up issues such as corruption, election, women empowerment. Even during COVID-19, we talked about, the awareness of vaccines, etc. But I think climate change as a problem that all of us are going through, this current generation, is a more longer term issue. And we thought that what we did last year was just about starting to spread awareness about it. This year we want to obviously scale it up, get more and more people talking about it. And also in line with, if you sort of see in the environment and the government around, everyone's talking about how individuals should start taking action to make us more pro-planet. So that's why we wanted to take this conversation forward.
What are the things that the brand is doing to actually bring about some change?
Also, there are a lot of the initiatives that we're doing both at a brand level as well as a corporate level. Of course, first of all, I think from a campaign point of view, one of the big initiatives also from Tata Tea point of view is get this as part of everyday conversation in household. Corporate level, we obviously have our commitment towards a better planet, and we've been doing stuff like our carbon footprint has decreased by 18% from 2010 to 22. All our beverage factories globally are zero waste to landfill sites. We have targets on water neutral across all operations by 2030. So both at a corporate level and as a brand level, we sort of want to take this topic and meaningful things to mitigate it.
Okay. Also, 16 years of Jaago Re. How do you keep a campaign alive for such a long time? And when you come up with these narratives, how do you decide upon the topics that you want to bring across to the consumer or put forth in front of the consumer?
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting question. In fact, one of the big responsibility we have is to really pick up the most relevant topic, because to us it's a very authentic brand purpose campaign. It's not a gimmick or a fad that we ride on. And I think the reason it has sort of stayed relevant over 16 years is because at the heart of it is about awakening people. We take a very functional benefit of waking up by tea to awaken, which is a philosophy. And every sort of generation, every few years, there are issues and there are larger society problems that we can take up and talk about it and get society and people to mobilize and take action on it. And I think we obviously in the current Jaago Re campaigns, we have been doing a lot of social media listening researches which tell us what's the problem plaguing the society at large. And climate change we had picked up last 2 years, and in fact a lot of chatter is happening among the younger generation, and not just youth but school children, talking about how how they are getting affected, and which is also the inside of our campaign, that it's what kind of planet are we really leaving for our kids, because they are the ones who are gonna live through most of their lifestyle, and the generation after that, and that's really what we are also trying to highlight through our new Jaago Re climate change campaign.
What makes the brand keep this campaign alive for such a long time, this property alive for such a long time?
I think it's about just being close to the consumer and the society, and understanding the pulse of the nation at that point in time. Like I said, when the first Jaago Re campaign was launched, it was really about and this was in 2007, when I think the statistics showed that not many people are sort of taking election as their primary duty, and and it was about encouraging people that the change, if you want to change the society or the government, starts with you. And then it took up themes like corruption, it took up themes like women empowerment. Also, what is relevant, sort of comes out if you really are very close to your consumers. And that's been the success behind this Jaago Re so far.
Okay, so now moving on from Jaago Re to the packaged tea, tell us what is the current outlook for the packaged tea market in India?
So I think, we obviously had a first half of last year, the financial year was, we had inflationary headwinds, and rural demand was suppressed. In fact, in quarter 4 of the financial year, we started seeing growths coming back, single-digit growths coming back. We also exited with a 3% volume growth in quarter 4 on our packaged beverage portfolio. And we are now seeing month-on-month sort of growth recovery. So we are cautiously optimistic. And over the long term, however, if you see, I think that the demand is stable and growing, and action is happening both at the premium end as well as bottom of the pyramid, and that's something that is very good. And of course, in our category, especially the tea category, the movement from unbranded to branded sort of remains the sort of the key growth for brands, and that's sort of continuing if you look at the medium to long term.
Okay, so there is an improvement in demand, and also for Tata Tea, localization has been one of your key strategies. Along with when it comes to campaigns, you have created these hyper-local campaigns around many of your products. So will you continue to do so in the coming months as well, Puneet?
Yeah, absolutely. Our hyper-local marketing focus is working well for us, and not just at a campaign level, but it's a basic insight. And food and beverage, I mean, in a country like us, which is so diverse, every region, every geographical area has so much to offer. It's taste palettes are so localized, and I think that's the very basic insight that we picked up. Not just like I said, on promoting our tea, which has distinct blends for specific regions, but also on innovations that we're getting into. I think the latest example of our innovation was we launched Tata Tea Premium Street Chai, that celebrated and was inspired from the iconic teas across various parts of the country. So we had Kolkata Street Chai, Mumbai Cutting Chai, Purani Delhi Ki Mithai Chai, and Hyderabadi Rani Chai. And these are tastes and flavors that people are aware of. They may not have access to it in their in their home. And through this initiative or through this launch, we are able to provide them. So I think we are using and tapping into this hyper local insight quite well, both across our marketing as well as products, and we'll continue to.
We've also seen a lot of innovations from Tata Tea in the past couple of months. So what is your strategy around it in the coming months, and what are the new products that we will see in the coming months? What is going to be your new product pipeline like?
So I think our innovation strategy, if you see, has been based on health and wellness, convenience, and premiumization, and those vectors are not going to change for us even in the future. So we had launched, say, 1.5, 2 years back, especially when as we were coming out of COVID, there was this mindset of people were seeking actively health choices in their in everything, especially food and beverage. And we came up with variants like Tata Tea Gold Care, which has the goodness of natural ingredients, a localized brand called Tata Tea Chakra Gold Care. We restaged or reworked our product to Tetley Green Tea and added, vitamin C to it, so that, and it's now green tea with the goodness of vitamin C, which helps in immune power. So that was, one of the vectors. Then convenience is, especially in coffee, we are offering a lot of these convenience options, like I spoke about. How can you make a great cappuccino at home, taste like filter coffee, etc. and of course experimenting and launching premium products. So street chai is an example which not just taps into the hyper-local sort of insight, but is also able to upgrade consumers in their tea experience and sort of premiumize from their everyday cup of tea. So I think you can keep expecting launches along these three vectors, as far as R&D is concerned.
All the best for that. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Shivani, and thanks once again for having me. All the best.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Ashish Mishra, CEO Interbrand India and South Asia, and Gonzalo Brujo, Global CEO Interbrand, who got into an exclusive chat with Storyboard 18's Dilshad Irani.